Dane and Derek is an uncensored, unfiltered podcast. You can find content warnings in the episode description. Thank you for listening. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dane and Derek show. This week we're back with Leah again. Welcome back, Leah.
Yeah.
And this time we're gonna And this time we're gonna be talking about probably more stuff about life, but also gardening, because I really suck at it. And I don't know if Dane gardens, but I know that Leah gardens, and I know that Leah likes gardening. So
Plants wither under my touch.
Plants wither under your touch. Wow. When was the last time you tried to garden, Dane?
I don't know. I don't try. I don't touch them. I don't go near them.
Oh man.
I get beaten back with a stick if I go near Gracie's plants.
Oh dear. I have a succulent that I bought when I moved to LA. I was super stressed out, and I went and got lost inside of an IKEA for like 5 hours because I needed to just not be around anything. And I saw this plant.
We need to pause. Sorry, I know we're trying to talk about plants, but you go to IKEA to de-stress?
Yeah.
I know, and be surrounded by nothing? What? That place is massive and surrounded with stuff.
Yeah, but it's inside of the IKEA. Yes, but inside of the IKEA, I am just one of 1,000 people. I am nobody. I can just become a part of the exhibit that is IKEA. I don't even eat there. I just lie down on the beds and just hold myself there. Or I'll hang out with the birds in the parking lot. Anyway, okay, I was in this IKEA.
Okay, moving on back to the succulent.
Yeah, I was in this IKEA.
Good to know that.
Yeah, and at the end of the IKEA, because you work your way through the maze, they have a gardening section, and they had plants. And I was like, oh, these plants are fake, but they've got to have real plants somewhere in here. And eventually, I found the real plants, and I found this one plant, and I was like, I need a plant. I need a plant to prove that I can take care of myself and that everything's going to be okay. So I spent my only $20 bill on a pot and a plant. And I've had that plant since then. It's been injured several times. It's been dropped by other people several times. And it is currently recovering, because I did the thing where you cut the succulent off of its roots, you let it heal, and then you repropagate it. So I repropagated it, and it's alive.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I also have a cactus that was a gift from a friend out here who moved away but then moved back, and they didn't want their cactus back. So I got a cactus and a succulent that I water every now and then, that I almost killed from overwatering. So, yeah.
I think I killed an aloe most recently.
Oh, I'm trying to keep my roommate's aloe vera alive. It's pretty dead, though. It's so dead, I think the neighbors put aloe vera in the plant to make it look like there's more aloe vera growing. Because they have a garden and with aloe vera, and I think they cut some leaves off and gave it to us. So I was like, oh, it's growing more, but I don't think it actually is. Anyhow, Leah, gardening. You've been gardening?
Yes, I do. I do those things. And to be fair, I also struggle with keeping succulents alive. I don't know what it is about how they're supposed to be so low stress, slow watering, but I overwater the bejesus out of them.
Yeah.
I do every single time. It's something I absolutely struggle with. And I did the same thing when I first started college. I got one succulent, and I carried it around, every year, and it would live with me in my road trips back and forth from school and whatnot. But it started to get a little bit too big for the journey and a little bit too delicate. So it actually with my parents now at their house.
Oh, nice.
Where it can get consistently ignored, which is a good thing. I know it sounds bad, but consistently ignoring a succulent is exactly what you should be doing. They thrive on neglect. You should forget that you own it, and then once every 2 months be like, oh shit, I totally forgot about this plant. Oh my God. And then you water it, and then that's it. The cycle repeats. You forget all about it, and then it'll never die.
Okay,
So
I just had a thought.
they do that really well. They're perfect. They're also very new at gardening. They finally got a backyard just this year with a gardening plot in it.
Ooh.
I helped them for 2 decades to put one in so that I could mess around with it. Now that I'm gone and they have their own house, they're putting one in, and they're like, "Wow, this is really hard, and we don't know what to do." I'm like, "Yeah."
Mhm.
You should have let me figure it out for you when I was 15, and that's all I wanted to do.
So, not to derail again, but I'm going to keep derailing.
Yes.
When you were talking about the succulents thriving on neglect, my brain was just like, we need to get them therapy, just collectively. They just need plant therapy, but I don't know.
Isn't that like a real thing? Like, you like
Plant
talk to
therapy?
plants?
I definitely.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you're supposed to talk to plants because carbon dioxide, right?
Well, and I did hear, I don't know, how true it is. It's like one of those MythBusters thing that, a certain frequency does actually help plants grow. I don't know if it actually,
Huh.
makes their growth speed up, or maybe it just doesn't impede their growth. Like it doesn't make it slow down. But apparently, any frequency found in instrumental to opera music could potentially make your plants grow better versus metal or rock and roll music, which has the frequency to apparently make your plant growth a little bit more stunted. I don't know if that's true or, but
Interesting.
my God, Winter, hi Winter.
My dogs are losing their minds,
Aw.
probably because one of my roommates came home.
Oh my
Yay.
goodness.
And
Yeah.
their object permanence is terrible.
Wait.
And then
So bad.
Winter. Oh wait, no, I do know you. I smell you. Okay.
Aw.
Yep. Poor Winter's eyesight is getting worse, I'm afraid.
Aw.
Winter.
We should
Yeah,
get them on
she's
the
getting real gray.
podcast.
They're always on the podcast there.
No, but we should give them a guest spot. Let them bark into the microphone. They might have interesting opinions. We just don't know it yet.
They might. You never know.
We can do a dog cast one of these days.
I know what their opinions are, which is feed them more, give them all of the treats, and never leave them alone ever. That's their opinions on life.
That's great.
Yeah. So, Jules, how long did you garden, though? Because I remember you cared for your parents' like tiny backyard all through high school.
Yep. Teeny tiny. And I did I did that all through high school, a little bit in middle school. They let me make like a tiny little 4x4 garden, I want to say my sophomore year of high school, in which I successfully killed a number of tomato plants. And then finally realized why nobody plants lemon balm or mint in the ground. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Huh.
There's a reason why nobody does that. And it's
Why?
a very good reason. Because they are impossible to kill. And it sounds like a good thing until they kill everything surrounding them, and then you cannot get them out of the ground. Like at all. Like,
Interesting.
over your entire yard within a year, and then you're just gonna have a mint yard. Like it's not the worst, but they're impossible to get rid of. If you ever want any of those plants, put them in a pot. Dear Lord, put them in a pot.
Huh.
Like my parents moved out of that house maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm pretty sure that there's still lemon balm in the backyard.
Oh man.
And it got landscaped like 3 or 4 times since then. So
Weird.
Huh.
yeah. But I do think that those initial years of like heavy mistakes and realizing that Colorado's literal temperament and the fact that we live in a desert is probably not the best for growing. If I hadn't watched all of those things die and fail, then I probably wouldn't be as interested in keeping them alive as I am now. Like if I had had some sort of easy green thumb success story as a 14-year-old, I'd be like, oh, it's just easy. Plant keeping is easy. Plant keeping is not easy. No.
Yeah.
Is it because they're delicate or because they're particular?
Both. And they're all different amounts of both. They're all particular and they're all delicate and they all want very, very specific things.
Huh. They sound like dogs and cats.
They're like toddlers. They really are, but
Huh.
they can't face anything. Like even dogs and kids can bark and cry when they're in pain, and plants are like, I'm just gonna slip silently into death, and you will never be able to recover me again. Ooh.
So do you have gardening space now, or do you just have many a planter?
Many a planter currently. I have a very decent backyard, considering that I live in a town pretty much. But since this is my first year within this lease, I didn't really feel comfortable asking my landlord if I could, tear a hole in the yard to put an actual garden box in. I will probably be doing it next year. According to my neighbor, my landlord will probably say yes. We will see. So for now, I have rows and rows of potted plants. It sounds really gross, but it's not that bad. In my parking lot, I have a very, very good spot where I get a shit ton of sun. So I just have rows and rows of potted tomatoes and lettuces right now.
Nice.
I kind of love that though.
Yeah. Like
that's a better use. That's a better use for space in a parking lot than go in a car.
Yeah, well, of course my car also goes in the parking lot. But it's also just like a place where I had very consistent, very good sun, where I could also, remember to water it every day really easily. Or maybe not every day, just whenever it needs it. But it is good. It has some advantages. Growing all of those plants in pots has been a learning experience, to say the least. Because tomatoes and lettuces are pretty much a plant in the ground kind of plant. They do make potted varieties. It's about soil requirements, water requirements, and root requirements. So tomatoes like to be planted really deep, and they send out a really ridiculous root system that likes to go down really far. And
like
since
how
it
far?
Maybe a foot or two. It depends on the tomato. So yeah, so if you get like a vining tomato that grow really, really tall, and you need like an extreme terrace and stuff like that, then the roots go really deep because it's pretty much a vine that's going straight up. And if you get bush tomato, then they don't go down as deep because it's like a tiny little bush that's going to give you probably a smaller tomato. But yeah, it depends on like tomato size, depends on the size of the plant itself, and the nutrient requirements as well. It's like a darker colored tomato would need more nutrients than a lighter colored tomato just to get to that point.
Why do you like gardening? Like spiritually?
I think it's gonna sound kind of weird, but it makes me feel really clean, even though I'm like literally digging in the dirt all day. So the opposite of clean. But there's something very cathartic about going through, like a plot of land or just like a little garden space and getting rid of anything that isn't necessary or that you don't need or isn't aesthetically pleasing. And I think something like that has been important to me ever since I was a kid. Like I loved weeding even when I was a kid, and it's just because you get to stare at this one surface for hours, take everything out that you don't like, and then when you're done, it looks amazing. It feels very like if you could go into your brain and pick out just the bad stuff and like pick out just the dark thoughts, things that don't serve you anymore. That's what it feels like.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sitting here mildly jealous.
Honestly, like, considering where my mental health has been within the last year, this job probably saved my life, to be real, because now I could just wake up in the morning, and it's not necessarily mindless because I do need to know all of the plants and be able to identify them based on their needs and like whether or not I can remove them and whatever. But other than that, identification based only, it's pretty mindless. I get to wake up in the morning and just make things look pretty and then leave.
Oh, that's
So
great.
do you do like, I don't actually know too much about like the actual professional side of it. Do you do like people's personal gardens or?
I mean, it depends. The job that I have now is gardening, not landscaping, which is a difference I'm not positive, like in terms of like literally the difference of the words. But as far as like professionalism goes, I'm one person on a 2-person team, and we go to like bougie people's houses, who don't necessarily want like a 12-person team to, like run amok on
Sure.
property, and then we do personal gardens or massive gardens. Really, it kind of depends on the client. We go to like 9 or 10 different houses and kind of just do whatever they want.
But it's private. It's not like.
Yeah, it's private. It's not like we're not going and planting gardens on like public properties or government properties or something like that. I would say that that's more of like a landscaping team. Like I have a lot of family members who landscape during the summer as their preferred job, and they would typically, I guess just like as an example, they would like go to a local gas station, replace all the rocks, replace all the mulch, replace all the plants, trim everything up, and then, leave that area, and then like go to the grocery store and do that.
Yeah, different.
Similar idea, but definitely different areas.
Gotcha.
Yeah, sounds like what my great aunt used to do. She used to run a business like what you do.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's really nice. That would be good for the brain. I'm not even good with plants, and I'd be like, I can weed all day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good for the brain. Honestly, not very good for the physical body, but very good for the brain. Well, as you could assume, any manual labor job with a 10-hour shift is exhausting.
Yes.
So, yeah. Physically, absolutely demanding, but brain-wise, very rewarding.
Yeah.
So, major perks on that.
That's nice.
Yeah, I've been more and more concerned about that. Like, as I've gotten older, is like the mental. Like, what is this job doing for my psyche? And so any job that is not only just not detrimental, but maybe even good, that's a win.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that was a necessity for this job because of where I was at mentally for the past year. And after my last big cooking job in Montana, I had to swear off of the business for a little while. And that's really what got me into this gardening job, was because I needed a job that was good for my mental health. Like, I didn't care what the job was going to be, so long as I just didn't, get into a dark place while I was doing it. And this, luckily, turned into be one of those jobs that I could be happy about doing while doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's still a job, right? Like, good days, bad days, but like,
of course. Yeah. I mean, but it's been a recent necessity. Like, I didn't need a job that made me happy until last year. Any year before that, I was like, whatever, jobs are for money, and then like my life is my life. But now I'm like, no, okay, but my job is a part of my life, and it needs to make me happy too.
Right, like it's like you do the math and you realize like, oh wow, I spend a lot of time sleeping, and then I spend a lot of time at my job. Like, I really don't have that much time outside of these things.
Yep.
Because like, even
so the time that I have, like, I want it to be good, and if I have a good job, then even better.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, like, even with school, right? Like, that's still not like a 9 to 5 is not necessarily, right? Like, there's still
Yeah.
like days off or the hours are shorter, so you still have majority of your day. Whereas like a
Mhm.
job, it's just like it's
I'll
very
let you know about
intensive.
that.
Oh yeah, you're about
I'll
to.
check back in. We'll check back in.
Yeah, we'll check back in a month and see if you're like functional.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Law school plus a full-time job, I think we might not hear from you for a hot second.
Oh, I'm not working.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good that
No,
you're.
I quit my job beginning of last month.
Yay!
Congrats,
Oh
buddy.
yeah, that was fucking great. Love that.
Congratulations, no more Naropa.
Yeah. Yeah, it can go burn if you ask me at this point.
Wow. Dane, it can go burn, Fogdoll.
I'm so stoked because I know how much you hated that job. You will never have to yell at another person for coming into a library with no shoes on.
Never.
Again.
Never
Wow.
again.
Wow, that sounds like the most like wow, that is like I feel like that's a perversion of like your character, Dane.
It's so gross.
You know what I mean? Like you having to
Yeah.
tell someone to put shoes on
In a library.
Yeah, like
in a library.
don't get me wrong, like I don't love shoes all the time. I like walking barefoot around places. It's nice, right? But there are appropriate places in which to do that. A public place indoors that everyone shares is not one of them. It just isn't.
Fair.
I remember when you told me that, and I'm still shocked, obviously, because that has burned a permanent image in my brain.
Yeah, it clearly lives rent free in your brain. Like, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Like, I am sorry that I have burdened you with this.
Wait.
I cannot believe it's such a Boulder thing. That is so Boulder. You would
Yeah.
tell on shoes in a library. That is the most Colorado bullshit thing I've ever heard, honestly.
Yeah.
Naropa is Boulder concentrated. It's Boulder concentrate. It's the tang of Boulder.
Oh,
Like,
but none of
you just
but sometimes
Prime.
Tang hits good though. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I bought Tang recently, and I
yeah, but you have to mix the tang with a bunch of water. Like if you're at Naropa, you're just like sticking your finger in it and licking.
oh,
Like,
you're
that's-
eating just the powder. Gotcha. You're just shoveling Tang powder into your mouth full force.
Yeah.
gross.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like horrible fun dip.
I-
If it's bad.
The bad fun dip. Fun dip for Satanists. Just no.
Man,
Yeah.
you know, I do miss Boulder sometimes, and I miss the fact that well, and I'm bummed that now everyone is like Denver is the cool spot, Boulder is lame, and that bums me out.
I blame Google. Honestly.
Yeah. Well,
Me
I know
too.
the tech companies have all moved into Denver, so
Yeah.
Not
But-
not Google.
Oh, not
Yeah.
Google.
That massive thing in Boulder, but
Oh,
definitely the hot spot of Colorado right now.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I was trying to explain to someone the other day like what it's like being able to like go to Boulder and go like hiking because it's like right on the mountains, and they like could not fathom living more than like 2 hours from the mountains. And I
True.
was like, oh yeah, we live like half hour away. Like that's I don't know. I mean, like now, Leah, you live in Vermont, which is like in the mountains. Like how
Yeah.
far are you from the White Mountains, or are you like in the White Mountains?
I am technically in the White Mountains. And by that means I could go to any hiking trail near me and technically be hiking the White Mountains.
Wow.
Like the
This sounds-
stereotype of the White Mountains is about a half an hour away from me.
Okay.
Wow.
I am in the area,
That's awesome.
technically. Like the ones that you see pictures of, yeah, I'd still have to drive to get to those trailheads.
Very nice.
Gotcha. Still nice though.
Yeah.
I
I've
love
only
it.
been to
Like,
Vermont once,
Of
so.
course, the mountains here are not comparable to the ones in Colorado, obviously. But they are
But
still,
green.
they're green. Like,
Yeah.
green. Not like evergreen green, but like vibrant green. Like
Yeah.
I can just send you a picture. Like the sun is setting here right now, so the sun is perfectly on all of my western facing mountains. And the best part about my apartment is that I'm surrounded by mountains, and I live on the second story, so I have an
Ooh.
view of the mountains that I am surrounded by. I also have an east and west window, so I can watch the sunset and the sunrise without leaving my apartment, which is fantastic.
That's rad.
Wow. That's incredible.
It's so. I mean, it kind of makes me feel like a piece of shit sometimes because I don't leave my apartment.
I
But
mean,
I can watch the sunset from inside. Like, why would I go anywhere?
fair.
Uh,
Can you
but
go
it's
on the
so
roof
nice.
of your place?
Technically, I have a roof window. I'm looking at it right now. I haven't
Ooh.
been on it because I'm nervous about the neighbors downstairs yelling at me.
Gotcha.
I don't think they would, and it's not like I would be loud. I'd probably just go out there and smoke a joint, but I might. I do have one.
Yeah, I mean, like, I
Wait,
got to do that
hold on.
once.
Hold on. Wait, this is important to me.
Okay.
You're in Vermont. That means that you're one of your senators is Bernie Sanders, right?
Yep.
Oh, you lucky bitch.
Wow, he said it. There it
If
is,
it makes you
everyone. He said it.
The culture of Vermont is it's like Boulder. It is a blue dot in the middle of a red state. Okay, because like Burlington is Bernie City, and the rest of Vermont is red. So where I live is not Democratic. I'm about
that's everywhere,
half an hour away from Dartmouth, so that gets really blue again.
Okay.
Where I live is like I drive by Trump signs every day. Like it's red as fuck.
Gotcha.
So yes
Life
and
is
no.
weird.
Yes
Life
and
is
no.
weird.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I agree. Oh my god. And I got on Tinder the other day.
Oh no.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Oh no, I know. Well, a girl's gotta get laid. So I got on Tinder.
I mean, yeah, you are
I
right.
mean, it's but oh my god, the amount of dudes I saw with Trump flags in their backgrounds.
Oh.
Okay, it wasn't shocking. What I should say was shocking was the amount of people of color with Trump flags in the backgrounds of their Tinder profiles. That does not make any sense to me. Sure, like a shitty white boy makes sense, yeah, a shitty white boy. But like the amount
concerning. I also don't understand it. I don't understand it. I will say this. I can give you one note of credit to these shitty white boys who have the Trump flag behind them, right? I have one thing I can say. Much like the poison dart frogs that are brightly colored, they have alerted you to the danger.
It's true. And for that, I am like so thankful because I can see their background and be like, immediately no. And of course, like they're looking at my profile and like straight up in my profile, it says BLM, ACAB, no Tate, no Rogan. So like if they are swiping on me, it's because they don't know how to read, So that's
Which
their own
also helpful. Also, a different alert.
And a different kind of alert too. But yeah, so where I live is
Oh man.
It's what a note.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got that for you.
Man.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah. This has been really great, Leah.
It's very fun.
Yeah, we should, catch up sooner than later and not necessarily on a podcast because I didn't realize how long it had been. And I apologize.
It's so long. Oh my god, don't be sorry. That's just how life is.
Yeah.
I don't know how but it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Life is weird.
Life is weird.
High school is weird. Country's weird.
Yep.
Time's weird.
Makes sense.
And
So,
if Dane doesn't cook dinner soon, he's gonna have weird nights. So
I'm gonna get stabbed.
You're gonna
in
get
my life.
stabbed.
It's not weird.
It's just
You're- You get enough hangry women around you, and I know you just live with hangry women.
It's three. It's three hangry women. It's a dangerous thing. Like they're
Like,
wonderful, and it's honestly a very nice environment. Like it's peaceful, and people check in on you and stuff. But if you don't feed them, you're dead. Like there's a price. To be
Wait,
paid,
Dane,
you know?
does this mean that every now and then, like, you need someone else to come over to cook dinner that isn't you to like quell them, so you can like go sneak off and save the multiverse?
No, there's no like I have to do both. I have to save the multiverse and make
Oh
dinner.
man, see, you really are Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
It's true.
Oh, wait, Zendaya, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot what I'm really there for.
Yeah.
That's what I'm there for. Yeah.
Oh,
Remember the
God.
word. You're here for Zendaya. That's pretty much it. So is Tom Holland. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, and you'd be British.
British.
I don't know.
Mm.
Never mind.
Ah,
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today again, Leah.
yeah.
We'll catch you around soon, and everyone go garden or not.
Yeah.
Don't water your succulents that often.
Neglect them.
Neglect them.
Good.
Yeah,
Neglect-
neglect them. Alrighty.
Yep. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.